We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the American motto as written by Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence. Now let's take a look at what the motto of socialism is as written by Karl Marx in the Communist Manifesto. From each according to their ability to each according to their need. These two philosophies are contradictory to one another and cannot be mixed. The one by Thomas Jefferson is an individualist-centered with rational self-interest as the primary motive, while the one by Karl Marx is altruistic, utopian, idealistic model with putting the needs of the other before the needs of the individual. One is the American motto. One is the American philosophy as written by Thomas Jefferson in the Declaration of Independence. Okay. The U.S. should not give up its founding philosophy of individual self-interest in exchange for the ideals of socialism. Because of its... You're so stupid. We can't use this now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Because of its... No, who cares? I don't care. Because of its contradictory philosophy to the Declaration of Independence and American exceptionalism, socialism should be rejected by the citizens of the United States. In order to show this, first we are going to talk about why Americans need to reject socialism. Then we're going to talk about how Americans can reject socialism. Thirdly, we're going to talk about the rewards of rejecting socialism and embracing freedom. And lastly, we're going to talk about how you yourself can reject socialism in your personal life. The first reason Americans need to reject socialism is that the current American economic model is working exceptionally well. According to a country intelligence report called Country Intelligence, there is 4 reasons why the American economic model is working exceptionally well. The first reason is that the United States has a very strong pro-business economic environment where entrepreneurs are able to take risks as needed. The second reason is that the labor market is extremely flexible, where there is enough skilled workers for the jobs that are in demand. The third reason is that when bureaucracy is needed to implement necessary government regulation, that bureaucracy is effective and not overbearing. And the fourth reason is that universities and colleges produce some of the highest trained workers on the planet. This is why, in conclusion, the Country Intelligence reports as the United States as the #1 leading economy in terms of GDP or gross domestic product. The second reason Americans need to reject socialism is that socialism misunderstands the proper role of government in American society. According to economic scientist Benjamin Zeiker, government is both the greatest threat to liberty and the greatest defender of liberty. Historically, the American government has been the greatest defender of liberty and has not overreached and threatened the liberty of its people. That is why the American economy has been so successful. Socialism, on the other hand, is the opposite. Socialism puts the driving force of the economy not as in the individual, but the government who is in charge of most of the economy. So basically, in essence, if socialism would be adopted in the United States economy, you would see individual liberty as something that would diminish greatly. So, in essence, socialism does not run incongruent with the American way of life. Now that we looked at why we need to reject socialism, let's look at how Americans can reject socialism. The 2 ways that Americans can reject socialism is through the values of hard work and American exceptionalism. According to John Tammy, who is the author of The End of Work, the American economic system has provided for Americans to be able to choose what career they want. From excerpt page 111, it says, "It is in rich countries where people have a choice about how they will earn a living, not to mention how often they will work. This is not the case in poor countries." John Tammy, the author, also ties back into the 3 individual rights that Thomas Jefferson laid out, one of those being the pursuit of happiness. Author John Tammy believes that the surest path to happiness is work, because work provides a framework for people to use their talents and abilities to help themselves and help others. Now that we have looked at the value of hard work, let's look at the value of American exceptionalism. According to political scientist Tash Cha, American exceptionalism is a term that has been used over 4,000 times in newspapers since 2010. My definition of American exceptionalism is through the value of hard work, individuals can become exceptional themselves, and with enough individuals working hard to become exceptional, the country at large becomes exceptional as a result. Now that we have looked at how Americans can reject socialism, let's look at the rewards of rejecting socialism and embracing freedom. According to a Freedom House study called the World Survey of Economic Freedom, Economic freedom and prosperity go hand in hand, where the richest countries also happen to be the freest countries. According to political scientist Donald Rumsfeld, political freedom, economic liberty, and prosperity are interlinked with one another. The best case study for this would be in Europe with the 4 countries of Estonia, Poland, Czech Republic, and Latvia. These 4 countries used to be communist in the 20th century, but have since moved to a market-based economy in the 21st century and have experienced massive amounts of wealth as a result. The case being that freedom does produce prosperity, and it is why the United States, the freest country in the world, is also the richest country in the world. So the number one reward of rejecting socialism is prosperity. Okay, now that we have looked at the rewards of rejecting socialism, let's talk about how you personally in your own life can reject socialism. Well, the number one way you can reject socialism is finding a career that suits you and makes you want to get up in the morning. Because if you find a career that suits you and makes you want to get up in the morning, you're going to have the values of American exceptionalism, of individual exceptionalism, and hard work instilled innately within you as a consequence. This will not allow you to have socialism be a driving force in the economy, but yourself to be the driver of yourself making money. The second way you can reject socialism in your own life is reject any sort of philosophies or worldview that puts another person or another government or another entity in charge of your own life. You're the person in charge of your own life, and embracing that will help you become a successful individual and reject socialism. I hope I have instilled within you the values of hard work and American exceptionalism, and as a result, I hope now you want to reject socialism in the United States of America. We have looked at the need of Americans to reject socialism because our economic system is working currently, and socialism misunderstands the role of government in the lives of Americans. Second, we have looked at how Americans can reject socialism through embracing the values of hard work and American exceptionalism. Third, we have looked at the rewards of rejecting socialism, especially in European countries of Poland, Czech Republic, Latvia, and Estonia. And fourth, we looked at how you personally can reject socialism through working hard and becoming an exceptional individual. Do not forget about the American motto, and your 3 rights Thomas Jefferson says you have: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Reject socialism and embrace your rights so that you can find your own American dream and pursue happiness on your own right. I hope now you guys will have a new desire to reject socialism and become exceptional individuals. Thank you.